Mori ore te whānau, welcome into the Practice Run, your frontline pass to the heart of sports action. Brought to you by 99 Dreams, inspiring others to chase their dreams. With your host, Arawari, Tukuirangi, and sometimes the brother Vincent. We're diving deep into the thrilling world of NRL and rugby league today, and who knows where the game will take us tomorrow. From the try line to the sideline, we've got you covered.
So strap in as we tackle the big plays, the game-changing moments, and the stories that define legends. Whether you're a seasoned vet or this is your first hit up, the Practice Run is for everyone. Every run, every tackle, every win, experience the rush with us.
With exclusive insights, couch analysis, and a touch of humour, the Practice Run is here to keep you entertained, informed, and part of our practice squad. Because here, every practice run takes us one step closer to glory.
The Practice Squad, where every listener is MVP, powering our play every episode, every day.
And shout out to 99 Dreams for powering our passion. And shout out to all our international fans from the United States, from Russia, from Aotearoa, and Australia. We appreciate you guys' support so much. Yeah, we are super thankful to have you. Now, today's rundown of what's going on, what's good. It is the end of round 2. What a massive week of footy. Some big movements in the NRL this week as well in terms of up and down the ladder. Some surprises and some shocking, thrilling finishes. So we'll go through all of that round in review shortly. Following that, we will give you another rundown of our updated power rankings for week 2 as we head into round 3. And then we will round out the week with our team of the week, presented by 99 Dreams. So shout out Whānau for all your guys' support over the couple of weeks. I've got a different headset on today because my other headset just died, and I have to hold this wire because it rubs on the mic. Because I might have to flip the headphones around at some point, but it's rubbing on the mic, and I feel like it's just gonna ruin the audio. So before we get into Paper Scissors Rock, I'm just gonna flip the headset a little bit. Humble beginnings, whānau. Remember, humble beginnings. And for our international listeners who don't actually know what whānau means, it means family. And so welcome into the Practice Run whānau. Welcome all our practice squad. You know the drill. Same game, different week. I won the last game,
You did. Yeah.
After coming off like a massive
it was on a bit of a roll.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, shoot. And up.
Oh!
He strikes again. Cutty, scissors for the win. Let's go. Before we kick things off, bro, how's your weekend? What did you get up to?
So over the weekend we had a 24-hour fundraiser at the gym, BFT Tauranga. So that was a bit of fun. I got stuck with I didn't get stuck with it. I chose to do the graveyard shift. So I was on midnight to what was meant to be 6 a.m, but I ended up going through till like 10 a.m. So the body is a little bit sore. I ended up doing the most laps out of everyone. I did like 20. I think the closest to me was like 12. But yeah, the body's definitely feeling it. But it was all for a good cause, wiping a hospice. I think we raised over like $3,000, which was good. Oof. Yeah, so that was pretty much my week, and it affected watching the league. That said, I was just written off. I got through like half a game, fell asleep. I woke up bits and pieces with the wires in a storm, but the body was just like, I could hear it going. I'd wake up, be like, oh, the game's on. Straight back to sleep. Wake up again, oh, straight back to sleep. So yeah, bro, that was my weekend. What about yours?
Hey, mine was pretty chill, man. I was just kicking back, watching footy and practicing some darts. I got another league game coming up tonight, so hoping for the best when we get out there. You know, got to back up that 180 performance on debut. So yeah, all those people who got me on their fantasy squad. Let's see if we can run those numbers back. We went 4 games, 3 wins, 1 loss, and 180. Hopefully I get my badge this week. I'm not too sure what the go is with that. I don't know how long they take, but yeah, you get a badge. I don't know if I'll actually put it on my kit. Yeah, that's a thing.
Of course.
Oh yeah, and also I got these these jerseys. So this jersey you see me wearing, if you're watching the video, if you're not listening, you're just listening to the podcast, or I'm currently wearing a game worn Patrick Carrigan jersey. I brought this on Trade Me, and you can kind of tell that it was game worn because it's got the GPS patch pocket at the back, but it's also got the strapping tape still on the pocket. So I don't know why whoever owned this first washed it. The Jordan Ricky one, you can tell that there's a bit more stains and stuff on there, but they still washed that pretty good too. So I'm hoping to head to the game in Auckland in June to get these guys to sign it. Hopefully catch them at the practice run, or the captain's run, so they can sign autographs there as opposed to trying to catch them after the game. Good luck. So yeah, but I was just thinking too, bro. Next year, if you guys have that BFT fundraiser, we should get the TPR boys, the practice run boys, over there. We could film some content and make a whole trip of it. And well, I'll obviously be trying to watch the footy. I won't be running much at all. But if we get some following throughout this year, maybe we could try and get some. We maybe do a live stream and try to get some donos to support the co-pop over there.
Yeah, it could be a go, man. I hope they don't do one anytime soon, if I'm being honest.
Oh, you're not. Next year. Next year.
We should be good, though, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be dope, man. That'll be sick. It'll be crack up. I feel like we need to do more things in the community once we actually get this off the ground. And
fair enough.
Do some gift days, because I was thinking, man, we could even check out some of the local rugby league, but I feel like the local rugby league season here, shout out the Bears, just started, but we had semis last week, and the Waitara Bears managed to win because the Hawara Hawks defaulted because their players, the rugby boys within that league team, were told they can't play because they got rugby preseason. So they defaulted.
Jeez, really, you default? It's only pre-season. Come on, boys.
That's all we were saying, man. That's all we were saying.
Bruh.
So all day hunting for the Bears, we made it into the grand final without having to play the semis. I'm here for it. Well, talking about semis, let's jump into round 2, round in review. Let's go for our recaps. Up first, we had Thursday night footy. The Brisbane Broncos took on the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Both teams desperate for a win in this game, but the Broncos managed to come out on top. What are we looking at for that game there? It was
The score was 28-18 to the Broncos.
28-18, there we go. It was a spirited comeback by South, because I know the Broncos were leading going into halftime, and the Bunnies, they came out of the sheds against Manly in the second half and put on a try-scoring fest, let themselves down in the dying minutes. They did the same again this week, which makes me think this team, when they put it all together, could be a devastating team, especially the way that they come out and attack straight out of the sheds. If they're able to stay consistent through the back half of that second half of the game, they could have won. But I guess they are lacking a bit of direction with Ilias, and the fact that they're chopping and changing Cam Murray around in the middle. So they're playing him more as like a prop or a second rower as opposed to a lock. They're trying to use him to get the go forward through the middle. What's your thoughts on that kind of play for Cam Murray anyway?
They kind of have no choice for them with Jaira out for what seems going to be a long time. And he's such a dynamic player. He can pretty much play anywhere and he'll be pretty good, but they definitely lose a little bit when he gets shifted. Like what happened with you guys in that week 1 when Paddy got shifted out of 13. The team just looks different, right? And they look different when he's not at 13. He's an elite 13, gives those quick play the balls, good tackler, good running game, good passing game. So you're definitely going to lose a little bit when he's not in that middle. But yeah, I don't really know what to do. I know my boy Tallis Duncan got some minutes. It's good to see him out there. So I think he was started in the second row too.
Well, he was named to
Yeah,
start,
he
but then
came
they
off the
put out
bench.
Shaq.
Yeah,
Yeah, they put Shaq out there, and I don't think he actually got out until late in the second
yeah, he
half.
didn't. I was gutted. I was expecting big things from him, and they put him on late.
Yeah, because I put him down as a try scorer, anytime try scorer on my multi. And of
Yeah.
course, he didn't score a try because I put him down to score one.
But look, I think we're not going to know what the Rabbitohs are like until, Jack Wyden's back, so he's going to be a big inclusion to their team. It looks like.
Does he play in the halves or do they put him in the centres? Do they shift Cody to 7 and play Jack at 6?
No harm in trying, right? I think you just want them with the ball. So, if they're both in the halves, they'll just get. Cody's obviously going to get the ball anyway. But yeah, if Whiten does play there at 6 or is in the halves, then he'll get his hands on the ball more, which is I think what you just want. Having him at centre means he has to be fed the ball as opposed to him going looking for it. But yeah, Campbell Graham's out for most of the season. Honestly, I think if those two are in the squad, they're a lock for top 8, but they're not there. Or Whiten's back now. Graham's out for the year, so it's I don't know, man. It's a iffy one, and Elias maybe isn't the answer for them at 7. Once again, I don't know why I let go of Adam Reynolds. You've got an experienced team and you're asking an inexperienced 7 to lead you around. I don't know if that's a
Yeah.
recipe for success.
Yeah, you've got internationalists, origin players that you're trying to get this young bloke who's probably watched all of their highlights growing up. Now he's got to be the one to direct them around the park, tell them where to be. It's a tough gig.
Yeah.
Tough gig. It's not his fault. I just think he's in the wrong system. He definitely would benefit, being in a rookie system like, I don't know, Gold Coast, who else is a young team? Dolphins, maybe, where you're not really caring. You're just out there to do your job. Tigers, he probably do all right at Tigers.
He might go all right at the Bulldogs. I think I might have mentioned his name a little bit a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, look, the Rabbitohs, I think they'll get better, but your Broncos, man. Damn.
They looked good on Thursday night. They looked good. Thank God Pia Kuda was back and Carrigan shifted back to his natural role in the middle there at lock. He made a huge difference this week, and it felt like he had to put a lot of critics to rest this week by just going out there and playing his ass off. And man, could he ball out. He was everywhere. I'll pull up his stats shortly, but man, he was everywhere making big time plays. Pia Kuda was putting on some hits out there. He forced a couple of errors in some of those tackles he was putting on. Cobo is a nightmare on defense. It's interesting because last year on the wing, he'd caused a lot of errors, forcing the centres to kind of have to cover him because he'd shoot up out of the line real quick and either miss the ball off an intercept or they'll just pass it wide and they normally score on his edge. But it's good to see that, he's locking shit down out there in the centres as well as just being electric on offense. We always knew he had the attack to be like a great offensive centre. It was whether or not he had that defense to lock it down. But hey, if he keeps playing like he did in this game, the future's bright for him. And man, he could just be one of many great Brisbane centres. Who else did I really enjoy? Oh, obviously, the electrifying one, the great one, Reece Walsh. Man, he's going to be the king of this team eventually, bro. I'm telling you, man, the electrifying kid. He's everywhere. He's really what sparks this Brisbane offense, as well as Reynolds' kicking game. But it's just Reece's ability to create something from nothing. Every time he touches the ball, it's exciting. Like reminds me of a young Sean Johnson when Shawnee used to catch the ball and he used to just bounce out of tackles and whack here, whack there, and dart off. That's what I love watching Reece do, man. And I'm just enjoying watching him have so much fun out there. He bagged a double. Set up a few plays. Cobbo's tap on pass out on the wing. That was magnificent. Where's Patrick Carrigan's stats? And that's who played another phenomenal game. D Mariner. So both Mariner and Walsh as well as Sloan and the Hammer are the leading try scorers with 3 apiece currently. Payne Haas with 15 tackle breaks, and he was being menacing the other night, but not too bad. How do I find damn stats, bro? It's too many.
I got you. What we got? Place.
Here we go.
You got that? You got it?
Pull up his running stats for me, man. His tackles.
Okay, we got Paddy Carrigan. What we got? We got 23 all runs, 222 run meters, 83 post contact meters. 19 hit ups. No, not that one. What you want? One was tackles, eh?
Yeah, tackles
Here we go.
missed and made.
35 tackles made, 2 miss, 1 ineffective tackle. So his tackle efficiency was 92.11%. Yeah.
Damn.
That's just solid.
Damn.
Solid.
See, he is definitely a standout player for me in that game. I think I would rank it, Selwyn, Patrick, Reese. Those would be my top 3 from that game. That's how I'd rank it. Is Selwyn just because of that defense, bro. He was making himself known out there. He was covering well, and he didn't make too many errors. Yeah, I'm one to be quite harsh on Selwyn. Probably his biggest critic. As a Bronco fan, he's got so much potential. It's just you want to see him do so well, and it's great to see him do it. And I'm proud of you, Selwyn. Not that you know who I am, and not that my opinion matters, but look, man, I'm harsh on you because I know you're super talented. But yeah, what about you, bro? What were some of your key takeaways from the Broncos side of things?
Yeah, Reece Welsh is just different. He is absolutely electric, like you said. Every time he touches that ball, and he's going to be a problem for years to come. Reece Welsh, he's the man. But Dean Mariner, there's not many people that make AJ look slow, and he made AJ look slow and old. It was crazy, like, bro.
He burned him on the outside.
Oh my goodness! Like that last try, he got the chip over, burnt him. But every time he had the ball, he just had AJ pretty much at his will, man. And I think AJ even had a little getaway, and Mariner chased him down. It was just it was. I can see why Corey Oates isn't in the team. And I think it's going to be hard.
That's a hard player to keep off the team.
I don't think he's going to make it back in the team, man, unless one of these two gets injured, because Arthur's has been solid for a little bit now, and he looks at home, and you got this other young, 20-year-old who's quick. Oh, it's going to be, Corey Oates, you might just have to hang your boots up, or ask for a release and go somewhere else. But I thought that back 5 was really good for you. Both centers look good, but again, it'd be interesting to see what they were like if they were going up against Whiten and Campbell Graham. But that's you can only play who you play against,
Exactly.
And no, they look dominant. Payne Haas was good, but he wasn't. I don't think I felt like they kind of kept him in check, but he didn't have to have a big game, because everyone else was doing their thing. Pierre Cotter, he looks like he was just smashing people, and he looks more and more comfortable now, and he looks like he's going to be a player in this league. Yeah.
For some years to come, man.
Carrigan,
he looks good.
Carrigan's safe. Oh, Martin Tapau. That's how you say it, That's how they say it on TV.
Yeah, Tapau.
Yeah. He looks young again now. He looked good. I think those limited minutes, get him on for 20.
Yeah.
Looks solid.
And see, that's another thing, is that he's holding back some more younger talent that are trying to branch through and, bust out into the scene as well. You got, what's his name? Willison? Yeah. So he's on the fringe waiting to come in. And we've also got Smoothie holding out Moser as well, who's looking to break in. So there's lots of position battles going on at the Broncos behind the scenes that every game matters. So if you don't play your best, you might find yourself missing out. Just real quick on that Payne Haas thing, as I've pulled up the Adam Reynolds injury, Payne Haas is 50-50 for this weekend's game against the Panthers. He went up the tunnel during the Rabbitohs game, but returned in the second half and finished the game. But there says here, waiting for scans. He has a bit of a problem with the knee, and there wasn't too much coming back from the scans, but he's still not right to go at this stage. So if he doesn't play, that means Willison would come into the 17. Reese is fine. He just had a bit of a cork. He'll be right. Adam Reynolds has a medial collateral ligament strain, a recurrence of an injury Reynolds sustained in the preseason. So he won't be playing this weekend against the Panthers.
Okay.
So it's going to make an already tough battle this weekend for the Broncos an even tougher battle, which means Jock Madden will be partnering Ezra Mam in the halves.
Jock Madden, not Kurt Force?
This article says it looks like it's going to be Jock Madden.
Okay.
But I guess we'll find out.
Find out later on, right?
Tomorrow. Yeah. Before we do wrap up on the Broncos, have you had a chance to look at their heritage jersey that they just dropped yesterday?
No. Let me just bring it up. Broncos heritage.
So it's a play
jersey
on the 1994 Broncos jersey with the little diamonds.
Is it in the team store?
Yeah. So they came out. Yeah, yesterday morning I seen on Facebook that it was dropping on the team store. So your boy pulled out the credit card and whacked it on. So hopefully that arrives in the next couple of weeks. I will look forward to unwrapping that. I feel like this is a jersey that could rival that of the Warriors heritage jersey, which I'm also trying to cop a copy of. So stay tuned, Warriors fans. I'm here for you. I'm riding the wave with you. Come on now. I'm on that. Here we go. Yeah, what are your thoughts? Are you seeing it?
Yeah, they look they look different, but they look pretty good. I see what you mean by that diamond thingy,
Yeah, I'm liking the collars being brought back. So in our away kit, we've got a white collar shirt. I'm liking that they brought it back for the diamond one. I love how the Warriors have a collar now. They need to slowly start
bring
bringing
back the collar, Yeah. No, why not?
Yeah,
Collars make
it completes the kit,
smaller.
I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
Completes the kit. Overall, though, I'm going to give that match between the Broncos and the Bunnies a 4 out of 5. What are you giving it?
I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Nice. Next up, we've got Friday night's teaser. They gave us the Bulldogs versus the Sharks. Do you want to take over on this one, bro? This is your Bulldogs.
Yes, I will. Look, unfortunately, the Bulldogs, we went down 25-6. So the score, to me, the score doesn't reflect how close the game was. It was a lot closer than what that score might suggest. But look, I thought we played better than the week before. We actually had a bit of ball. And we scored 3 tries, but 2 of them got disallowed. One was for Braden Chindle touching the ref when Kiko was running at him. That try got disallowed. And then we had the one to Blake Wilson who put his foot on the line. But yeah, we got across the line a few times, just unfortunately didn't quite count. The Sharks, their defense is elite. They just know how to show up, and when they get the ball rolling, there's not many teams that can stop them. I think they're going to be up there this year. Easily a top 8 team, I'd say. yeah, the story of the game for me was Nico Hines. That dude was just ridiculous. I thought his defense was amazing, and the way he just controlled the show. He looked all class out there, and he just looked a cut above everyone else. Another story I had from this is that Sharks bench is ridiculous. That
Yeah.
I said it last week. I thought the bench won in that game against the Warriors, and when they came on, that Hazelton guy, dude, he's good. He's so good. Like you have him, Finucane, um, yeah, it's like they go up a level when their bench comes on, and it's real noticeable too. Like the battle in the middle might be pretty even, but once their bench comes on with Hazelton, with Dale Finucane, yeah, that's what I've noticed most about the Sharks in this early season is their bench is elite, their defense is elite. When you've got an elite player like Nico Hines, they're going to be hard to beat. For my Bulldogs, I thought we did better than last week. Kikau had a better game. I thought Burden had a better game. Burden's was actually running the ball, and Kikau looked dangerous when he got the ball. What else happened on the other side? Blake Wilson, he's a good finisher. Blake Taff had a slightly better game, but honestly, I'm of the thought I think I've said it now since the start. Critter needs the ball, so he needs to go to fullback. I just think Blake Taff's a little bit too light. Like,
Yeah.
when he catches that ball and he's running, he just gets pushed back every time. Where I think having a bigger body like Critter, when he catches the ball, defense are going to be like, oh, like it's Critter running back at us. So he might be able to get us a slightly better go forward ball. And he looks dangerous when he gets the ball. He just doesn't get it because he's at the centre, So, yeah, everyone's already calling for Drew Hutchinson. They want him out. I think he's still like. I think he's still the 7. But yeah, man, I think we need Critter to fullback. Connor Tracy looked good against his old team. Maybe move him to centre. Carrez, I think he should go back to wing. I think it should be him and Wilson until Adokar comes back. And then bring in Bronson Cherry and maybe have him and Connor Tracy be the centres. I know people want Matt Burden back to centres, but if he does go there, we're going to have the same problem that Critter has, which is he doesn't get the ball. We need Critter and Burden to have the ball, and I think having him out. I mean, if we had them both at centre, I think they'll touch the ball maybe like 4 or 5 times a game. And we just need them to be touching that ball at least 10, 15 times. So having one at 6 and having one at fullback would, I think, make that happen. Yeah, we faded towards the back, but again, we got no forwards. So everyone's going to be tired. We can't get go forward ball. That's why when Burden kicks, it's always a slow play the ball, where the Sharks, their 5th play is always a quick play of the ball, which is why Hines is always running onto it and can have options. Yeah, we need it. It didn't help that fucking Boasa got knocked out in the first play by your McGuinness's ugly ass face. But yeah, look, I think we've had 2 weeks now against 2 elite teams or top 8 teams. I honestly think, I know we're at the bottom of the table, but I don't think we're that bad of a team. I know we're not a top 8 team, or maybe probably not even a top 10 team, but I don't think we're the wooden spoon team. Yeah, long season. I think we'll get better. We've got the Titans next week. So yeah, that's pretty much it from me. Yeah, man. Well, what did you think of the game?
Yeah, well, I thought the same too. I don't think the Bulldogs are that bad. They have had some tough competition. I think the Titans will really show where you guys sit on the table. If you guys can manage to stay in the game and not lose, I think you might be able to pull yourself away from that conversation. But if you get sort of bum rushed by the Titans, I don't see you guys doing too well this season, and I think it might be a 1-horse race. However, you guys that are regular listeners of the show know that I have not won too many bets this year. My TAB account is just a donation bin at this point. I did put $10 on the Bulldogs to get the spoon this season. So you're welcome, Bulldogs fans. If that doesn't come to fruition, you're welcome. Thank me later. But no, they did show some life. And like you said, they are playing some top teams. One thing I'd like to see the Sharks do is, yes, they were able to beat the Warriors, but I think the Warriors beat themselves in game one. The Bulldogs, sorry to say this, bro, but they're not really that much of a challenge this year. So that's not that impressive to me. I'd like to see them, do bits against, let's go with a Cowboys or a Raiders, another team that I don't quite know where they're at yet. They've again beaten teams down the lower end of the pool. So yeah, I think the Sharks, Raiders, and Cowboys are kind of that middle pack where I think they'll be the 8, 9, 10s, 11s come the pointy end of the season. I think they'll be fighting for that play-in spot, and they'll cause some havoc in the postseason, I think. But yeah, it's really good to see Nico Hines get out there and have some good footy. He's playing phenomenal at the moment, and definitely en route to win potentially a second Dalian. I know it's super early, but these are those too early to tell kind of judgments that you make this far into the season. But yeah, Sharks again showed that blood in the water mentality. If you give them a sniff, they will take it. And they continue to roll and roll and roll and roll. So they're definitely going to be one of those teams that are going to be difficult when you come up against them to regain momentum from them, because once they get the ball rolling, it don't stop. But overall, I thought it wasn't too bad of a game. A good way to kick off a Friday night with the footy. I'm going to be devastated once daylight savings ends, because all the games just get exponentially later. They do, eh?
Yeah, because we lose an hour.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I swear they get later, because Sundays, they normally kicking off around 6, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Whereas I'm pretty sure we've had some early games, so I'm not looking forward to that. But yeah, I think Bulldogs have a fair bit of work to do this season. Outside of a few positional changes, what do you think the Bulldogs need to do looking into next year? Because this year, you're kind of writing this year off, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you guys got to do to look forward to next year? What makes you as a fan excited for next season? If it, what are you looking forward to? If it's going to be more like this?
Like we've been saying it now since pre-season. Really, we need a forward. We need a leader in that pack. And there happens to be one with the last name May, who looks like he's going to re-sign with the Roosters. But I'll be making a hell of a play at him, considering we missed out on Fanor Blake. And we need a 7. I know we have one, but he's super young. Mitchell Wood, I believe his name is. So he's still probably a couple of years away. But honestly, if we get an elite forward, I think it just changes. Just someone who can get go forward ball and a quick play the ball. It will just free everyone up. And then all of a sudden, our main prop, Max King, he now plays that Robin role as opposed to Batman role. And I think he's a good Robin. He's a good number 2. And the likes of Sam Hughes, who could turn into an elite prop coming off that bench, and it strengthens our bench. So the fact we're missing that one strong prop has the trickle effect. It's because our bench is so tiny. I like Kurt Mann. He's good. And then you got Curtis Morris. Who else? Oh, Curran. I think Curran might be starting because Puasa Masula is definitely out for the next game. So he might move into prop, or Sam Hughes might get the starting gig. We'll never know. But yeah, man, give us... We're missing big boppers in the middle. We've got the back line. We need a 7, but I think we got the 7. He's just going to take time. But yeah, so I think Yeah, man, looks like we're at least a year away. Hopefully it's just 1 year and not 2 years. But yeah, just want to say a quick thing about the Sharks. Their draw's pretty soft. They got the Tigers next week. They got Tigers this week. Sorry, Saturday, and then in week 4 is probably like, other than the Warriors, their first kind of real test. They got the Raiders, and then in week 5, I believe they got the bye. Yeah, so they could easily be 4-0 going into their bye week. So yeah, man, luck at the draw.
Damn. Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. It'd be like that. I feel like Panthers have had a pretty tough go at it. But before we get there, what was your overall rating on this Bulldogs Sharks match?
I'd have to give it a 3 out of 5. It was close until that last 20. They just blitzed us.
Yeah. I did see that, but it was kind of embarrassing. I gave them a 3-1 out of 5. And then, like I said, we're heading over to one of the most difficult schedules so far is the Panthers versus the Eels. Over in Penrith. What's their stadium called? I don't know. Whatever their stadium's called.
Bluebet.
There you go. I knew it was something bet. I thought it was like Centrebet. Anyway, great game. I had thought the Eels would have put down a bit more of a challenge. We did say the Panthers will win on Thursday's episode, but we thought that the Eels would be there or thereabouts, and they were up until the last 20 odd minutes of the game, and that's when Penrith started tightening up their game. It's gonna take a little while more, I think, before Penrith start to find that rhythm and start clicking again. They'll be kind of like the Crusaders, not this year's Crusaders, but Crusaders of the past 7 years, where they're always peaking at the end of the season. When you need them to, that's when they're all in form and they're just rolling towards postseason. What Penrith fans have to remember is that, like we've been saying the past couple of weeks now, is how many people or how many players have you guys lost in the past 4 years? Every championship team that you won a premiership with, it looks completely different to the year after. And yet you've been able to stand up, rinse and repeat that same play style. It's now you've finally got to change that play style to suit the players that you've got left. Not saying that you're not going to be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. We still have quite high hopes for you, Penrith. But it's just interesting to see how will they adapt. I don't think they've quite learned that yet, what they're going to do to adapt. But they showed brilliances over the weekend, and it was an interesting game. The Eels really didn't do too much wrong. The Panthers just capitalised where the Panthers capitalised, and they put more points on the board. That's really the story of that game. Like, seriously, like as cliche and as like simplified as it is, like the Eels didn't do too much wrong. The Panthers were just the better side at the end of the day. Like, I thought the Eels were going to win that game. I had them on my TAB to win, actually. It's probably why they lost. My bad. But yeah, I liked what they were doing in attack, and I thought they looked sound on defense. Penrith exposed them. Leota, he looked great, running the ball a bit more. He looked like he was getting some downhill runs. For you American football fans, you love that saying, downhill runner. I never really got it until late last year. It just means that they really good at just plowing through people, which makes sense. We start using that phrase in the NRL, man. Pick out our favourite downhill forwards and just know how to pick that ball up and just get downhill. But what do you think, man? What's your opinions on this game and on these two teams?
Yeah, I was able to catch some of the first half before I went off to the fundraiser. From what I saw, it looked pretty back and forth. I remember I missed like the first 2 minutes, and when I turned it on, I think the Eels had already scored. I was like, what the? But from what I've seen, Tango had a real good game. He looked dangerous every time he touched the ball. Not just sure, did Fisher Harris have an injury or something? Because I'm looking at his stats and he only played 24 minutes. Which you would expect him to be, in their 40-minute range. So I find that a little bit surprising, but again, like we said, right, this Penrith team, one, they're hard to beat, and then you're playing them at home. Good luck with that. I think these are two still elite teams. I think they'll make the 8. Panthers, for as hard as their schedule is to start the season, they're going to rack up those wins. They're going to be hard to beat at home, and I think they just did what they did, really, and they do what they do. But yeah, I don't really have much to say on the game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so James Fisher-Harris could only manage to play 25 minutes in the Panthers' victory after leaving the field with a shoulder injury. There's clouds over whether or not he'll be active this Thursday. It's leaning towards not really. And Jerome Luai escapes suspension despite being placed on the court twice in the match. So Luai gets that luck again, and I'm pretty sure everyone else, all the other fans around the league, will be crying out saying the Penrith Panthers get the rub of the green yet again.
Who won the battle of the forwards? Like, did Polo come off the bench again, or did he start this time? Do you know?
I actually couldn't tell you. I think maybe he was off the bench.
I was watching the highlights before, and I seen Carmen Tuilangi hit that massive hit on mini Brock Lesnar or Liam Martin. But then looked like he injured himself because the very next play is when Isaiah Yeo did that kick. As if Isaiah Yeo isn't already amazing. Turns out he can kick as well. Dude just...
Oh, no, there we go. There's no structural damage to James Fisher-Harris's shoulder. However, he feels like the pain might hold him out. So there's a few injuries already early on in the season. So that might be a game with no Haas, no Fisher-Harris, and no Reynolds.
Jeez.
It's going to be a sad, sad game.
They're at home too, Penrith. Yous are playing away.
Yeah.
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 Good luck.
We beat them at their home last year.
Was that round 1?
Round 1.
1,
Yeah. 1 point game. I think we were at T-Dog's thing too, eh? Heard a fence.
Oh, was that who? Was it then? Oh, cricket.
Yeah. In Altaki.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that because I remember we were on it, and then I had to watch the replay the next day, and I was like, we won. Fully stoked. But yeah, I'd give that match, the Panthers Eels, I gave that a 3-6 out of 5.
I'd probably just give it a 4 out of 5, just for who was playing. From what I saw, it looked like a high quality game, back and forth, scoring tries both teams.
Yeah. The Panthers were strong on defense in that second half to hold them scoreless, from what I remember. I don't think the Eels got across the line in the second half.
Sure.
I think Hopgood scored the last try, for the Eels in the first half, the end of the first half too. Heading over to the town of the milk, Canberra Raiders versus the Wooden Spooners, the reigning Wooden Spooners, Vincent's beloved West Tigers. Look, the storyline coming out of the Tigers is there's a lot of criticism around how Benji coaches. They're unsure as to why he started didn't start Caesar, and they started Sullivan, and then halfway through towards, I think the game was pretty much sealed. Signed, sealed, delivered. Stevie Wonder was singing, and Caesar heads on out there to try and steady the ship a little bit. But obviously, to no avail. It was a good game from the Raiders. They've definitely proved themselves to be a bit of a dark horse this season. they're showing up when they need to show up. Who they play in round 1 again?
The Knights.
They went up against the Knights. Yeah, see, everyone was favouring the Knights this season. I know Kalen Ponga was fancying himself a chance of making the grand final this year with his team. That's why he turned the Māori team down. So, yeah, how's that going, bro? Hope that's going out good for you. But no, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Raiders. However, much like the Sharks, it's a pretty soft couple of games. I'm not too sold on them yet. I'd like to see them beat a Roosters, a Manly, Broncos, a Panthers, maybe the Storm. If they can do something against those teams, then I'd consider them, a top threat. However, now they're building momentum nicely. They're doing everything they need to do. Strange definitely had a game this game. Looked like Fogarty trusted him to handle the ball a little bit more over on his side. He was decent on defense, and he, chanced his arm a couple of times there on attack. Where is his stats? I need to find his stats. I know he had some good stats this game. What are you thinking, bro? What was your take on that game?
I think I wrote one note for this game. Let's see if I can find it.
While I find these stats.
Here we go. Tigers versus Canberra. The only note I wrote was shame Tigers. Looking good for the wooden spoon, I tell you. Now, look, I mean, that I only watched the highlights, but they had their first try where the rookie, the number 7, Galvin, he looked pretty good. He actually took the line on. He went inside to Bulla, who threw the ball to the other rookie, Fainu. So you had 3 real young players there connecting on one play, and they scored a try. So, there's signs there, the future looking bright. And then the other try they scored was the man who's all alone, up all by himself, Coruscant, who decides to not pass the ball because just hold on to it, brother. Do your thing. Look, it's kind of what we expected, right? We expected them to not be that good, and it kind of what happened. Yeah, the Raiders, they kind of do have a soft schedule. West Tigers and the Knights last week, but I thought that win last week was real good. And again, you have Zach Hosking, who's playing really good. That Elliot Whitehead might have to come off the bench to start, and he's the captain, right? And then you have Morgan Smithies in the middle. So, and he's playing well enough that he's probably not going to lose his starting spot. And you have Corey Horsburgh coming back. So you have 2 key members of that forward pack who might find themselves on the bench when they return. So it shows you the depth that they have there. You mentioned you want to see the Raiders beat a decent team. Well, next week's game, they playing Friday. This weekend's game. On Friday, they're in Christchurch playing the Wars. So that could be...
That's right. That is right.
That'll be a good test for them. We know the Wars are 0-2, but they could easily be 2-0. So that'd be a good test for the Raiders to see how they go in Christchurch against the Wars. I think they'll really test where they are. Then I think after that they got another and that's followed up with them against the Sharks. So these next 2 weeks coming up for the Raiders are going to test whether they are actually an elite team or they're kind of hovering in that 6 to 10 range. It's really going to tell us.
That's where I think they are.
Yeah, me too. I think they're good enough to make the playoffs. Make that 8, but they could also be just on the outer.
Yeah. So going back to Strange, how I said he had a much better game than last week. He managed to score a 4-pointer. He had 1 line break, 5 tackle breaks, and 17 post-contact meters. He kicked for 39 meters. He had 20 passes, 17 tackles made, only 2 missed for a 6. That's not bad. And he's not the biggest of blokes. He had 73 run meters with 14 hit-ups. huge improvements on last game when he had no hit-ups, 22 metres, 4 missed tackles, and he made more tackles last week, passed less and only made 6 post-contact metres. Played the full 80 both games. So he's slowly progressing there in Canberra. And like you said with Galvin, another young bloke, made a couple of errors, but kept his head in the game, showed flashes of brilliance. Definitely someone worth developing, so then he can fuck off to another club in his later years, like Mitchell Moses and Luke Brooks and Tedesco and the rest of them. So keep being a training ground for other clubs, Tigers. We'd love to see it. But yeah, no, look, he shows a lot of promise, this young bloke. It's going to be sad to see him on the bench probably next season when Luai comes in.
Oh man, that's going to be the halves partner. Galvin and Luai.
You reckon?
Yeah. Heard it here first.
It'll be interesting. All right. We'll see. He shows a lot of potential, and he's a great young player. So future is bright. One thing I will say is, what is your thoughts on Benji as a coach overall? I mean, it's going to be hard to see how good of a coach he is with this current team, but a lot of the pros are saying, you got to lose your first 3 to figure out who you are as a coach and what your coaching philosophy is before you start becoming a Craig Bellamy or a Wayne Bennett or a Trent Robinson.
Yeah, look, I mean, he had that controversy at the start of the last week, saying he shows up late, or he's the last coach to show up. Look, I mean, you got to find your style that works for you, right? And I know there is a saying that normally the best players make the worst coaches, just because everything happens so easy for them. They expect everyone to be able to, I guess, have the same work ethic as them, but also, the things he could do as a player were just second to none. He had a natural flair for the game, make people look silly. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it transfers into a coach. I think he'll be alright. It's just going to take him time. I think I would have liked him to maybe have a little longer apprenticeship. Maybe if he even went to another club to just do his apprenticeship a little bit longer. But hey, right, there's only 17 head coaching jobs available, so if one shows up, you kind of have to take it. Even if you might not be ready, they don't come around too often, so might as well chuck your head in there and jump straight into the deep end. Yeah. No, I think he'll be alright. I don't know if this is the team that he wants. Hopefully he can find a few more. I'll tell you what, man. I know Luai plays 6 and that Galvin guy looks good, but what's his name? Schuster. He's not looking too fresh at Manly. He's on an expensive contract. I would just be thinking, maybe, giving Manly a call, seeing if Schuster's available and seeing if I can get him over, because we know Benji said that was the best debut he'd ever seen. He played in that game. And look, I'll just be thinking about it, is all I'm saying. Give Manly a call. Hey, look, you paying him 800 to play New South Wales Cup? Come on, man. Why not? Why not just?
It's a lot of money.
Give it a go.
It's a lot of money. One other thing I was going to say, I have it in my notes here to touch on with, is the Tigers have small forwards. Their big boys don't look big. They look quite lean. They look wiry. They still look like they can bang, but they don't look like your standard forwards of the premiership clubs. So that's something to look out for. Maybe you Bulldogs will definitely have a strong contest with your guys' forwards versus theirs. So who knows? Overall, I give this match a 3-1 out of 5.
I would give it I'll probably go 3 out of 5 as well.
Nice. Up in North Queensland, we picked another winner. We went Cowboys Knights, although we almost called it wrong. That game went into Golden Point, and the Cowboys stole that game away from the Knights, or rather, should I say, the Knights let that one slip away. They let the Cowboys in late in the second half, and the Cowboys just kept that foot on the throttle. Knights, I'm not too sure about them this season. They have flashes of brilliance, and then they kind of have these massive lulls in between. I'm not sold on them doing too well this year, but again, it's only round 2, and they can improve as the season continues. But yeah, that's what I got from it. I didn't watch the entire thing. I was like in between having dinner and watching the game, so couldn't quite stay focused on the game. There was a main event to be watched later on, so I was making sure to be well fed for this game. What about you? I'm assuming you were counting sheep during this game.
Yeah, I just got home from the fundraiser when this game was on, so I had enough wits about me to watch some of it, but I think I made it to halftime before it was all but over for me for the night. And from what I saw, man, the Knights were definitely the better of the two teams. Cowboys had a lot of mistakes, and the Knights were on top. Former Bulldog Adam Elliott managed to score himself a double. He's so much better at lock. That really, they used to irk me because he used to play lock for us and he was good, and he's actually got a good pass on him. And then when Trent Barrett came over, they put him back to second row, which I couldn't believe because Trent Barrett's system relies on a ball playing 13. So go figure. But look, he looks good there. His first try was he pretty much just ran through the middle, and then the second try was Jack Harrington with the short ball. Yeah, I'm not too sure about the Knights. I think they got to figure out the Cogger situation. Is he the 14 or should Gamble be the one that moves? I don't know. I think once they figure that out and make a definitive call, they'll be better. They're not missing anyone, I don't think, right? Like both the Saifidi brothers are there.
Yeah.
Other than their hooker, who's always injured, Brayley. Like, dude's made of glass at this point, right? Like, no matter what he does. But, I mean, they could... Is it showing, like, that they're missing Dominic Young?
Oh... Wow.
Because he was their main finisher, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the side that they were going to get those tries. And with him not being there, like, Gagai's looking good. You know?
Yeah.
Gagai's looking really good. Bradman Bess, yeah.
Well, he's not really showing too many signs of aging, that guy?
Nah, he's looking really good. I've seen him bump a few people in that game. I was like, whoa. Yeah, no, he looked good. Yeah. That's why, like, when I woke up on Sunday, I couldn't actually believe that they'd lost because I thought they were going to go on and march to victory. They were up like 10-0 at halftime, I think.
Yeah, I thought they were going to win, but yeah, that Cowboy resolve and that record that we bet on last week, man, that's what kept them in the game.
Yeah, I can't really say much on the Cowboys. They are 2-0, right?
Yep.
2-0, but again, that's like a who have they really played? You know,
shaky.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shaky 2-0.
And they're second on the ladder.
Yeah, well, there's 5 undefeated teams, right? 2 of those teams have had pretty soft draws. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But hey, man, you got to get these wins right, however which way you can. The Cowboys smoked the Dolphins last week, and now they get a come from behind gritty win. So yeah, I mean 2-0. 2-0 is 2-0.
Yeah, and they got the Dragons next week. This week, sorry. They got the Dragons up next. So yeah, look, it's going to be interesting to see whether or not those Cowboys are actually a top 8 side or if they're one of those 7, 8, 9, 10 sides. And I think that's something that we'll find out as the season progresses. I think this Dragons game, they should have the confidence to roll over them, but I think the Dragons will be looking to bounce back. Heading over to the main event on Saturday night. Look, I was sitting down on the couch with my fry bread, my plate of hangi, all fried up, ready to go. And boy, what a game this was. Early on, a lot of errors held the Warriors back, and this was another game where they kind of lost it themselves. Um, a lot of handling errors, a lot of ruck infringements, um, just sloppy. I think a lot of this start of the season, rounds 1 and 2, has had a lot of sloppy football. Um, not too sure what it is, whether the game's faster or the players just aren't as fit at the moment. Who knows? But yeah, footy's been pretty sloppy lately. Um, the Warriors, they let a ball bounce out off the kickoff, and Melbourne got the ball back like 15, 20 metres out. So, yeah, Melbourne Storm received the ball twice in the first half off the kickoff, and in the second half, it was actually the Warriors trying to kick the ball off. So, fair play to Melbourne for that one, and then they managed to score off of that. But one thing I'm interested in knowing is why Sean Johnson isn't kicking anymore. Who relieved him of his kicking duties? Because Metcalf, I think, missed 2 of 7 kicks, and those 2 extra points might have kept them ahead to push Melbourne out from beating them. Also, key note was in the first half, Roger, pretty quiet. In the second half, Roger was everywhere. He looked great. So I don't know if coach just said do your thing and unlocked him and let him roam a bit and sort of attack like a fullback, but playing from that centre position, or Metcalf just got told to give him the ball more often. Because that's what held them back last week, was not unlocking the shackles from Roger and restricting him to that centre spot. Roger's definitely a player that you let roam because he is devastating. Don't keep him in the cage, man. He can make use that extra bit better. Like, I think he can push you from being an outside 8 team to being a top 4 team if you utilize him properly. Tuopiki had a great game. Really loving what I'm seeing from him. Question now is, what happens to him when Chance comes back? Because Chance is a fullback that you want in the side. Tuopiki is too good not to. He's too good to be playing New South Wales Cup or for the Falcons. That's where you put bloody Dylan Walker and Jazz Tavanga. You don't put Tuopiki down there. So where does he go? And is there room for him to maintain with this team in the future? Or does he go somewhere else? So those are some of the things that I'm looking at. Because, man, he's too talented to just sit on the sidelines and wait for the Warriors to get injured before he can get some more game time. And what else did I notice from this game? Dylan Walker, nah, get him out of there. Put in Tomali. Need to see more of him. I want to see Laban. Who else is that on the outside for the Warriors coming in? Bunty's still all right, but yeah, nah. Dylan Walker, man, he's a great utility, and I think that's the only reason he's in this side, because he forced out another error this week. He had an error last week. How many errors are you going to let this guy get away with before you kick him off the squad? Those are those chances. Those are those errors that give the other teams momentum. It gives them a sniff, and look what happened. They bounce right back. Not off his errors, but, it's a amalgamating effect. And Metcalf, I don't know, man. He's not giving the ball to Rog when he needs to. He did it in the second half, so maybe I'll forgive you. He just signed a contract extension with the Warriors, so they obviously have faith in him. He has faith in them. I've got zero faith in him. Zero faith. Warriors faithful love him. I don't. I would rather see Tamari Martin out there, get Chanel Harris Tavita, or Tavita Harris, whatever his last name is. Get him out there. Give other guys a go, because for me, Metcalf ain't doing it, man. You guys are going to see week in and week out. He'll make a couple of errors, or he'll miss a few cues, and you just won't win games. You'll be classed as the Warriors of old, and it'll be their fault. Walker and Metcalf, I'm calling, man, they got to go. For the Melbourne side, you guys got to stop milking penalties from the refs. You just need to shut the fuck up and play ball. Hughes, I think, is up for suspension for a couple of games because of his shove in the back to the referee. He tried to push the ref into the direction of the ball, but they kind of bounced out and around him, so the ref wasn't actually impeding at all, so they couldn't get a penalty out of that. And then at times you'll see Hughes just looking at the ref trying to get calls their way. So Melbourne, stop calling that bullshit. And Harry Grant, that was the dumbest pass I've ever seen, where you just straight up try to chuck it off their head, and the ref was just straight up like, no, penalty against you. That's dumb. Why'd you do that? No, you're milking it. Stop playing that game. Yeah, it's Warriors ball. And they were like, but why? What do we do? And he's like, no, you know what you're doing. So, look, I was stoked for the Warriors. They showed a lot of resolve to come back in that second half and score. I think they went 3 tries before Melbourne got back on the board. And then, Coates with what they're calling the try of all time. In the corner, he dived from 3 meters out. Bloody Dylan got over. He managed to, push him, but Oates, man, he just flew. That was like Michael Jordan in Space Jam, just Yeah, bro. What were your takeaways from that game, man? From what you caught of it? That was that was my list of everything. And if you've been taking notes, man, what do you think of Tuo Piki and all of that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm gutted that I missed the game. I think because I had it going on in the background, and from what I remember, I was sleeping, I woke up for a bit of it. I looked up, seen the score was 6-0 Storm, and I was like, oh, classic. And then I think I woke up just before halftime, and it was 18-0. So I was like, or whatever it was, I knew that the Storm were up heaps. And I was like, So I didn't even think much of it. And then, woke up next morning and seen the try of the year, and I was like, oh, wow. That's crazy. Gut-wrenching for the Warriors. Like we said, they could have easily been 2-0. They were dominating the Sharks last week in that first half, and it seems like here they had, they let in 2 tries in the last 3 minutes of the game. You can't be doing it. You just can't be. So they kind of only got themselves to blame, really. They should be 2-0 by a lot of counts, and they find themselves 0-2. But in saying that, I think they've shown enough that they are, they're a good team. They're a good team, and they will be there or thereabouts come the end of the season. It'll be good to see them in the playoffs again. But yeah, go back to what you said about what happens when Chance comes back. It might just be, I don't think, can you have Tuo Piki as a 14? Probably not. Unless he's the 18th man. But he might just have to carve up at in that lower grade, and to the point where he's just too good. You can always shift Chance to centre, right? But then that's Rocco Berry probably going. And he's
still too good to get booted off the team.
He looks like he's been playing
You can't
well.
get rid of Rocco. Yeah.
Right.
And he's playing good naturally as a centre, whereas if you push Chance to centre, you might get that Roger Tuivasa-Sheck effect where not getting enough ball, whereas Rocco can still make impact without the ball.
So, man, hard to say what they do, but I guess a good problem to have. Yeah, Luke Metcalf obviously got extended, and so did... Who's the backup hooker? Is it Freddie? Lussick? Yeah. So he's been signed for another... He got extended for 2 years, I believe. Who?
Nice.
Because Wade Egan got named there, but surely he didn't play, right? I can't see his name.
Nah. So Chanel moved up.
Oh, is that who? Okay. Alright. But yeah, look, I can't really say much about the game. Didn't really watch it. Looks like the boys played well. Should have won it. Is what it is.
Yeah, it was a great game, in my opinion. And that's why I'm giving it a 4-8.
Yeah.
It was the finish. Thrilling finish.
Just based on what I've heard in that last 5 minutes, I've got to give it probably a 4.5 out of 5. Yeah.
Yeah, great game, great performances from both teams. Melbourne, they're good for a reason. And the Warriors have just been unlucky and they've done it to themselves. So hopefully they can bounce back this weekend in Christchurch. Shout out Otoi. Hopefully you guys put it on for the guys as they go to take on the Raiders, top of the table. Heading over now to Sunday. It's the Battle of the Beaches. Manly versus Sydney Roosters. What a cracker of a game that was. I actually thought it was going to go the other way. I'm pretty sure I backed Manly just because I don't really like the Roosters. I said, fuck the Roosters, they beat us, so I'm going Manly. And I don't know any Manly fans. Turns out I actually do. One of our family friends, Davey Rab, shout out Davey Rabbi, he's a big Manly man. So there we go. We found a Manly supporter. Manly versus the Roosters. That was the winners of the Las Vegas round. Just the way the season was written by the script writers, I guess, up there in NRL HQ. We'll put the losers together on Thursday night and we'll put the winners on Sunday. But what a matchup that was. I was really looking forward to the battle between Tedesco and Trbojevic, potentially battling it out for that New South Wales jumper, that number 1 jumper. It's still up for grabs, I think, under the new coach. We know Latrell won't have it, just based off of his past few performances. Hasn't been that great. What I have enjoyed about Manly is their grit and determination up front. They put on big hits, man. And they still utilise a bit of speed out the back. They got some great centres over there. Olakau'atu had a great game. What's that bloody Paseka? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Taniela Paseka.
Yeah, man. He had a game, bro. Big bopper just bashing through the middle. I think there was too much pressure on the Roosters to perform. Everyone was talking them up in the pre-game. Everyone had the Roosters to win. Manly at home, again, another team that kind of been underestimated this season, but the addition of Luke Brooks, man, it's made a huge difference to the side, I think. And obviously the return of Tommy Trbojevic, but man, they got a spine that they can be proud of. Fullback, lock, and their halves. Their hooker's not too bad either, old head tape. He's not too bad. What's his name?
Croker.
Yeah, head tape.
Anyway, Croker,
he's not too bad. He's it looks good out there. I really enjoy what I've seen from Manly. I don't care too much for the Roosters, so if you want to commentate on anything further, I just enjoyed watching Manly beat the Roosters. I just like watching the Roosters lose, to be honest. If anyone can beat the Roosters, fuck, I'm there for you. I'll cheer you all day of the week, even if you're a crosstown rival. Even if the Brisbane Dolphins decide to play the Roosters this season and show up, I'll be backing you bastards.
Yeah, for what I saw, I managed to catch the first half of this game. Manly just took it to them, mate. It seemed they won that battle up front, and they shifted early, even out their own half. They were going second place shifts, and that sent to Kohler. There's not many people that give Joey, the great Joey Manu trouble, but like a minute into the game, they shifted to Kohler. Manu kind of bit on the second rower, and he showed his pace. He's meant to be one of the fastest in the NRL, and he showed it, man. He just split them. He didn't give the ball. I think Tedesco shut that one down, but he looked dangerous when he hit the ball. Unfortunately, one of them got injured. I think the winger got injured because Kohler got shifted to winger after that. Oh no, HIA. It was Tommy Talo, the former West Tiger. But yeah, man, Luke Brooks looked good, eh? I'm telling you, man, he's thinking I should have left years ago, is what he's thinking. Like I stayed that long. You mean to say I could have been winning years ago? Oh, he's gutted. Absolutely gutted, I can tell you that much. But
he's like, this is what a back-to-back win feels like? What the heck?
That's exactly what it's feeling like. For the Roosters, they look good. I just thought Manly were just slightly ahead of the game on the day, it seemed. Tedesco looked good. I thought that try to Croker was going to get called back because of Turbo. Turbo touched Tedesco on that jump, which has been a penalty all year, and it's something they emphasised, and it didn't get called, which was a surprise. And then Dominic Young looks good. Tupou looks good. Terrell May looks good. Come on, Bulldogs, we need him. You had Hargreaves play his 250th. Victor Radley, like, you would think on paper that the Roosters had the better forward pack, but on that day, man, I have to give it to Manly. They won that battle. Man. They won that battle of the forwards, and it showed.
They had them dogs.
Yeah. Schuster, Mr. 800,000, looks like he's not going to be able to crack the team because Ben's looking good at that second row. Telling you, Benji, give him a call. You never know. You never know.
That's one thing I'm putting down on all my multis this year. Sorry to interrupt you. Is I'm going for a 1-2-3 Trbojevic, Ben, Jake, and Tommy. I'm going to try see how much that nets you. But every game now that they play, I'm going to put on a Ben, Jake, and Tom.
You got to save it for when they play either us or the Tigers or the Titans, maybe the Dragons. I think that might be the best chance of it happening.
I reckon it could be just a sleeper game against the top team that just falls asleep.
You reckon? Could be.
I reckon Jake through the middle, under the sticks. I reckon Tommy off broken play. And I reckon Ben on the edge just... Sorry, camera just cut out. We had some technical difficulties. I don't know what we were talking about briefly. I do know it was Roosters and Manly related.
Oh.
But I will throw this at you. Oh,
it was the Trbojevic triple.
That's right. I was yapping on about nothing that mattered. But yeah, so I feel like it would go Jake through the middle, under the sticks, Tom off broken play, and I feel like it will be Ben Trbojevic off sort of, they'll be shifting the ball over to his edge and he'll hit the line. They'll be shaping to throw it wide, but instead hit him on a short ball and he'll cut over the line, maybe about 5 or 6 meters out from the post. That's how I'm picturing the BJT triple to go down.
Not bad. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I was to see it happening. I would have it Turbo to score off of Ben to score off of a pass on Turbo, just from him drawing defenders, short ball, kind of like how you were saying, like either play out the back or go short to him. And then Jake, I'd have it, someone makes a break and he's supporting, kind of, but it would have to be like within the red zone. And then for Turbo, either probably the same, just his support. It's ridiculous. I could see him getting a line break off of a Jake pass, Jake with those slick hands. But yeah, someone making a break, probably Saab or someone, then Turbo just backing up. Try time.
Yeah. Nah, it's a possibility to happen. Also, I was going to say to you, I think, and again, this is just another too early to tell prediction, but I think the way the season's going, I'd have my 2 Dalian halves looking like Luke Brooks and Nico Hines. That's how it's shaping up for me this season so far.
Yeah, well, it's not going to be Munster, who I picked to win a Dalian, because it looks like he's going to be out for another couple of weeks. Yeah, I want a redo. I did not know that he was injured for that long. I'm annoyed. But oh well, that's what it is.
That happens. Yeah, I don't think any of my people that I picked outside of Payne Haas are going to make Dalian this season. But it's all good. That's why we do these too early to tell. Now over to the final game of the round. It was the hopeless Dolphins, who seemed less hopeless this week, against what I thought were the mighty Dragons. The Dolphins walloped the Dragons. What was the final score? Like something 30-0? Was it 30? Did they get to the 30s?
38-0 was Dolphins' biggest margin of victory.
Man, true. Good on them. And Hammer had a game. This is a game that I didn't actually watch. Had my nephew over for the night. And yeah, if you've ever looked after a 2-year-old, they don't actually allow you much time to watch footy. And they don't care. They just really don't care. You're like, bro, I'm trying to watch the game. He's like, I don't care. So I didn't see too much outside of hearing about Hammer's 3. I still watched a little bit of Sloan. He looked great. Still just, again, on a losing side. And Lomax is looking good out there.
Yeah, this was one of the few games that I did get to watch. Luckily, and yeah, you had picked the Dragons to win based off last week, and I had the Dolphins winning based off last week. So it was one of the few games that we didn't pick the same. That was the same with the Manly Roosters one. You got that one right, I got it wrong, and this one it was flipped. I managed to get it right. And Dolphins just, I mean, Wayne Bennett, right? When your team gets smoked like they do the week before, he's kind of the coach you want because he's going to turn that ship around, and he did. They came out a totally different team. The game plan looked quite simple, man. Run hard, tackle hard. They had Isaiah Katoa looked good at 7. Cody Nikorima had to go off HIA, which he failed. And then they brought on this. I'm just going to quickly check his name. Because the replacement for Cody, bro, he actually looked really good, eh? Like, he didn't overplay his hand, just did what he was meant to do. And he looked like a player, just like here it is, Kurt Donahue. Never heard of the man, but he did really well in the absence of Cody Nikorima, so they got a good one there. Max Plav, the lock, he played really good, and he had to go to 9 when Jeremy Marshall-King got that Falcon. How he played after that kick, after that Ben Hunt straight kick to the face, is beyond me. Yeah, but just a solid performance all around. Hammer with the 3 tries. You got Jermaine Suckle, he got a try. Former Bulldog Jake Avarillo also got a try. Former Bulldog Jim Marshall-King with a try. And Mark Nichols managed to bag him one as well. But yeah, you had 2 HIAs. At the same, they weren't that far between each other, but you had people step up there. Max Plath and Kurt Donahue. That rookie winger Jack Bostock, he seems good. He's tall. But yeah, Herbie looked good. Flegler looked good. Their whole team looked. Kafusi was doing Kafusi things. Solid win, man. Dominant from start to end. They controlled it. To go with the Dragons, man, not really much to say. It just wasn't their day. But yeah, Zach Lomax, I think they were told to kick to him, which they did because in their first half, every kick was going Zach Lomax's way. And he did good. He looks good there. He looks dangerous. Like, he gets these sets off to like half decent starts. He looks safe under that high ball. Because Ravalawa did not. They scored a try. I think Osaka scored a try. They kicked to his corner, which is where Ravalawa was, and Ravalawa didn't even jump. Like, he just let him catch the ball on the line, and he just turned and scores. Just unbelievable. Here it is. Zach Lomax, 27 runs, bro. 185 meters, 81 post-contact meters. Yeah,
Damn.
He looked. I mean, I know he doesn't want to play there, but boy, your coach might be on to something because you look pretty good there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because I just picked him up in fantasy this week. Him and Terrell May, and I swapped them for what's his name? Oh, shucks, I forgot his name. He plays for the Warriors off the bench.
Ale.
He didn't play last week, and then he played.
Tom Ale?
Yeah, Tom Ale. Yeah, so I swapped him for Tom Ale, and I got rid of Burton. I picked up Lomax and May.
Nice.
which Tomali wasn't scoring me any points, so Burton was the cash that I had to free up. So a total of 51 points scored this week between the two of them, and I'm hoping that Lomax and May can outscore two people. So I essentially just traded Burton for Lomax and May. But yeah, look, Dragons, I'm still there or thereabouts with you guys. I don't think you'll be in the top 8, not at all, but I don't think you guys are the wooden spoon, and I'm hoping I can ride that to the bank with you guys not being spoon this season. Tough game next week against the Cowboys, but I feel like you guys can do it. This could potentially put the Cowboys in the number 1 spot if they get up on this game, because I don't want to jinx it, but I don't think the Warriors will let the Raiders beat them. I don't think the Warriors can afford to go 0-3 to start the season. So, yeah, that could shape up to be something miraculous. Over now to our Team of the Week, presented by 99 Dreams. 99 Dreams powering our dreams and our passions to get the practice run off the ground. The practice run, your show to keep you in the know of sports and entertainment around the globe, but right now just locally. That's the catchphrase we've been working on, man. But yeah, shout out to 99 Dreams for sponsoring this segment. Team of the Week. How do we want to do this? Do you want to do the back 5? I do the forwards 5, and then we split the spy.
Yep. What's that? Wait,
all right.
So I'm doing the full back 5.
You do the back 5? Yep. Yeah.
So at full back, we have none other than the electrifying one himself, the great one, Reece Walsh. On our wingers, we have Dean Mariner, who made AJ look like he was old, and we had to include Corey Oaten for that try of the year. At centres, we have Selwyn Cobbo, who looked devastating out there for the Broncos, and the other centre we're going with Isaac Tungo, who absolutely torched the Eels. So that's our back 5 for the Team of the Week.
Nice. And those are some great players. And now with our forwards, prop, we're going with Leota and Paseka, just two monstrous boys that just had a lot of fun in the weekend, just running punks over. Then in our second row, we got Hosking, Wilton, and Carrigan. And Carrigan, man, he was a standout on that Broncos defense. Just putting him back in the middle of the field again. Let him do him. That's where he needs to be. So, Kevy, I'm sorry, man, but if that happens again, find someone else to go there. Don't put him there again. He needs to be in the middle. He proved that. So, I don't know. Tapu, play in the middle. Play out there on the edge, my bro. Over to our spine. Look, like we said, that Manly game, Brooks needs to get his flowers, and we've got Luke Brooks in there at the number 6. And I said that he could, be in for a Dally M6 of the year if he keeps up this performance. And I think it's because he gets to be that Robin role, or maybe that Alfred role, because you got Batman and Robin as DCE and Travojevic, where he just gets to be him. He gets to play his game, and it's really shining. And shout out to the coaches over there in Manly for allowing him to do his thing. Shame, Tigers.
Yeah, and we have him partnered up with Jerome Hughes after his dominant display with that come from behind victory against the Warriors.
And then rounding out, we've got our hooker, the knockout specialist himself, Jeremy Marshall-King. And it's not just because of the highlight, but it's like Two said, after he came back on in the second half after his HIA assessment and he passed, he really turned that game around for the Dolphins and steadied the ship. So that is our Team of the Week. That's our first ever Team of the Week. We didn't do one last week, but I think we might give all these players points, and we'll try to get a Team of the Year put together at the end of the year based off of all of our Team of the Week players. But could you imagine, right? So we got a new NRL game, and you've got like a ultimate team, and then have Team of the Weeks come out every week. Your top 10, 13 players, and buy those packs, and try to get that, 87 overall Reece Walsh at fullback. Like, man, that's what I wanted to talk to you about this week, actually. I know we've got like a super long episode, but man, this is, if you could create your own, or not your own, but like if you could have input on the development of the next rugby league game, what are some of the features you'd like to be seen in there?
Oh, some of the features. Give me a story mode. For some reason, I'm a sucker for sports story modes.
Bro, hard. Like, am I like an undrafted? Well, not an undrafted player, but like, am I like someone who has to work their way up through like Queensland Cup and then try and debut, and all these things go wrong? We have like pathway choices. Will I be this? Will I be that? Am I forward? Am I back? Am I half? What, that? Yes,
that's what I'm thinking. Something like that. And then I know you're talking about that ultimate team. That sounds like money down the drain to me.
Gee, Bro, I'll be spending so much money.
I got Madden. I can't remember which one. It was Tom Brady was the cover, but it was Patriots Tom Brady. I want to say it was 17 or 18. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. But it was that one anyway. I got it, and it was the first time that I played the Ultimate Team. Oh, nah. I've never bought a Madden since because of how much money I spent that year on that thing buying packs. It's the same with freaking 2K and all those packs. It's just frustrates me,
bro.
But
I love it though, because could you imagine, right? Your dream 13. You got a Hazem Al-Masri, a 97 overall Hazem on the wing, with like maybe Selwyn Cobbo in the centres, partnered up with Greg Inglis, a 99 overall Melbourne Storm Grand Final edition. Greg Inglis, like, hey, game developers,
I mean,
we're onto something here. Work with us.
It sells itself, right? Like, that game would pop off if they had that in it, and they just drop new cards every week. Yeah, I mean.
And then I reckon in regular gameplay modes, we need historical teams and we need all-time teams. I don't care about just this current roster. Give me a 2008 or 2009 Melbourne Storm. Let us play some of those teams. I don't know, what do you got? Like a 05.
The 04 Bulldogs.
Did you win 04 Bulldogs? Give us a 2002 Warriors. Yeah. Bro. Give us a 2011 Warriors. Man. Historical teams, just like in 2K.
You got that 2018, 2019 Roosters team. That'd be pretty deadly.
Give us that 2020 Panthers.
Yeah. Give us that 2020 Panthers. Looking good. It would be a cool game though. I don't know why. Is it? I'm not too sure. Like, I've actually never really played a rugby league game. The last one I did was Stacey Jones back in the day.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's back in that. I think that was like PS2.
Yeah, I think that was Xbox One or original Xbox. Yeah, PlayStation 2.
Oh,
yeah. I think it was. Did you ever have a modded Xbox?
Yeah, my cousin
those
did.
were the best things ever invented. Like, that blew my mind when I heard you could
just unlimited games here.
Man, I should look into getting one of those. That'd be so cool. Yeah, old modded consoles with all the games. Yes, we all.
Would you even be interested in like in FIFA they have pro clubs, so you play with like your mates and your positions on the field?
Yeah. Cool idea.
So like, that
just
they pull it off pretty well in FIFA, and that it'll be pretty hard to maintain your shape. It'll be the boys. Just no, you're not getting the ball this run, but you're the decoy runner. There'll be so many comms. We'll have to like practice heaps beforehand, and then all right, we're gonna run a rooster, and then yeah. Oh,
that'd be funny. That'd
have to be on our. Yeah, bro, we'll be on our own Discord chat. All right. Who's on wing? Yep, run, boom, off on the bomb downtown, and then use our career mode characters.
Yeah. Give me a career mode, man, in rugby league. I'll be there. Even if the first one is like you don't have much say, like it's just this is the person, like they do in the NFL one, like the Madden one, where like you are that player, you are. What was it?
This is your
Yeah,
backstory.
this is like everyone's playing the same person. But yeah.
And give me a manager mode, my GM, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Let me take control of this roster, man. Let me make the Broncos great for years. Let me package Reece Walsh up into a front-loaded contract. So I've got him for later. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to have that general manager mode, and got to, where you can sign the players. They might have to change a few things where you could trade players and stuff like that.
Yes.
Do the transfer windows. Like that's a good place where they can implement those stuff, right? Like things that what people have been talking about, what they should do. Chuck it in GM mode.
Yeah, like they do in NBA 2K, where you can at the end of every 2K season in my GM, you vote with the other GMs on different rules. So allowing a 4-point line, even though it doesn't exist in the game currently, you can have it in future games. So do something like that, implement it in the game where we can have a draft, we can have a trade system or a transfer window. Do something to make it innovative, to make the game a better package, so rugby have to continue stealing ideas from us. So come on, man, we need this. We need this game. Game developers, I know that the license for NRL just came up. Big Ant Studios, I think, have just lost that license, so it's up for grabs. So EA, call us, man. We'll sit in the room with you. You develop the cool games to play, and we'll give you the ideas, and just give us a free copy of the game. That's all we want.
Could be. Would you have EA or 2K do it?
Ooh. See, that's a good question. I feel like EA have the better mechanics for because their NFL mechanics are pretty sick. So I reckon they'll be able to use that same game engine for NRL. But 2K have the better innovative ideas. Madden's just rinse and repeat, same shit, but 2K, they kind of explore different things, and their storytelling narratives are a little bit better over at 2K. And 2K, I think, are also the parent studio of GTA, Rockstar.
Sure.
So, yeah. So they'll be able to come up with narrative creators and things like that. So yeah, I'd go 2K. Who'd you go with? Did I say 2K? EA.
You said 2K.
EA for gameplay. 2K for innovative stuff. Both of them. But if I had to only choose one, then I'd probably go EA. Sorry, just because I'd rather better gameplay over better features but shit gameplay.
Yeah, I'd probably lean towards EA. 2K lately have been dropping the ball on these basketball games. Pissed me off. I haven't bought a 2K since. It's been a while. Put it to you that way. And yeah, but it'd be good to see what they do.
Hard. It'd be interesting. I'd love to see it happen. We need it. Fans need to see it. I reckon they can pump one out. If I win Lotto, I'm putting $2 million into the project. EA, $2 million. Get this game going. I don't even want the money from the sales. Just give me free copies. Copies that we can give away on the show to our 3 listeners.
You go.
But hey, I think that brings us to the end of our show. Thank you all so much for listening in. Hope you guys all have a great week. We'll see you guys back here again on Thursday for a preview show. I'm looking forward to this weekend's games of footy, but I'll throw it over to 2 to wrap things up.
Yeah, once again, we just want to give a shout out to our fans listening near or far. Thank you for being part of the practice squad. For anyone else who wants to support us, feel free to give us a like on all of our platforms. But until then, we will see you on Thursday. And as per, chur to the chur, mā te wā.